Dominic Yansky with LighthouseHockey.com, and this is another 3-minute island feature on SB Nation's YouTube channel. Now, each year at the site, Lighthouse Hockey, we do a thing where we go through each player and give them individual report cards, grading them based on our preseason expectations for them. That means for the better, more talented players, you're probably going to grade their performance harder, and for the players who you expected to be weak coming in, you give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt since you never expected much from them anyway. On that note, our first candidate for report card is Milan Jurcina, the unrestricted free agent defenseman. Now, Jurcina, he's a player I like to think of as Lenny from Mice and Men. He's not always totally checked into the situation. He doesn't always realize the extent of his own strength, both for good and bad. And he can come up with some comical and catastrophic errors. Sometimes when he does use his size and strength, it is in a sudden burst that creates a penalty, such as laying someone out from behind in the boards because he didn't seem to realize his own strength. The rest of the time, of course, coaches throughout his career have expected him to use his big frame more. He's just not a mean or what you'd call violent defenseman, so it doesn't seem to come naturally to him. But one of the reasons teams add him is for his size. This year, of course, his biggest red flag is that big -34, which was the worst on the Islanders team. Now, that stat can be misleading, but when you're the absolute worst on a team, it's certainly worth noting, especially if there's not a whole lot else that you bring to the table. And Jurcina certainly doesn't bring a whole lot else to the table. He's not a very offensive defenseman, although he does have a pretty hard booming shot from the blue line when he gets the chance to use it. And as a penalty killer, well, they used him a lot on the penalty kill, but he's not super effective. He's basically a bottom pairing defenseman who got top 4 minutes essentially for the Islanders this season. Now, part of that's through injuries and other reasons, but he's the kind of guy who you sort of need to use in specific roles if you're going to use him at all. Of course, my expectations obviously weren't that high for him to begin with, so that doesn't mean I'll grade him that hard, but we look forward to what you have to say about him, whether the Islanders should bother trying to re-sign him or whether they should let him go. So you can vote for these report cards in comments at the site through a poll attached to each grade, each report card post at the site at lighthouse.hockey.com, or let us know in response to these videos or on our Facebook and Twitter at LHHockey. Thanks. Tune in for the next report card. Sometimes they'll be straight up like this. Sometimes they'll be a little more funny, a little more irreverent. We'll see.